Archangel Michael says the wind has changed direction and it carries your name like a leaf that trembles on the edge. The hourglass is thin to dust and the final grains are sliding. You must listen with your whole heart because the next steps decide everything. There is a trembling in the walls that only your spirit can hear. It is the sound of a door that refuses to stay closed when destiny demands an opening. Your life has reached a narrow bridge and you must cross it. 10 heartbeats and the old story dissolves like smoke in water. 10 heartbeats and the new road appears with a fierce and quiet glow. 10 heartbeats and the hand that once carried you will either lift you higher or let you drift into the dark. You were not made for the shadows that tried to claim you. You were made for a path that glows even when night presses hard against your ribs. The light is not distant anymore because it stands right in front of you. A name was whispered over your life when you were tired and unsure. That name was protection and direction hiding inside a single breath. It kept you even when you felt abandoned. Every delay in your story has been shaking loose like leaves from an old tree. The ground has been clearing so your feet will not trip. You are being moved into a lane that will not tolerate confusion. There is a letter waiting in a room you have avoided. The letter is not written with ink that fades when tears fall. It is written with certainty and it cannot be erased by fear. The countdown has begun and it is mercy. Mercy sounds like thunder when it arrives at the last minute and refuses to be polite. Mercy breaks open the ceiling when you think the light has left. You have walked for years with a careful step that hid how brave you are. Caution taught you to survive, but courage will teach you to live. This is the moment where survival is no longer enough. Something precious has been handled with careless hands and it made you shrink. That shrinking is over because your name is being spoken with accuracy now. The right doors recognize the right names. A figure stands at a threshold you have visited in your dreams. That figure carries a key that was shaped from your endurance. The lock recognizes the key because it was designed during your hardest nights. 10 seconds sounds small to a distracted mind. 10 seconds is a universe to a heart that has waited for years. 10 seconds can open a door that stays open for a lifetime. You will feel the shift in your chest like a quiet click. The click is the sound of alignment returning after a long exile. It is the sound of a spine remembering it was built to stand. Your silence has been mistaken for surrender by those who do not know your fire. Your patience has been mistaken for weakness by those who cannot see the steel beneath. The misunderstanding ends because the result will speak in your place. A storm tried to rewrite the map of your life with violent ink. The rain has washed that false ink away and the true lines have resurfaced. The map now points you to a door with your initials carved deep. You will not miss the moment because the moment is hunting you with kindness. Kindness has a weight that breaks chains without bruising the skin. It wraps around your decisions and lifts them into clarity. There is a document that once tied your feet to an old room. That document is losing its power because higher authority has issued a counter-decree. You will feel the paper turn soft and useless in your hands. Do not measure yourself by the years that felt wasted. Those years were a kiln and you came out shaped and tempered. The edge you carry now was forged there. Your name is being called into a new register that does not permit shame. The call is strong and it finds you even if you whisper. You are escorted by goodness that does not quit. You once believed you had to knock until your hands were sore. The new season has doors that swing toward you because they know your approach. The hinges rejoice when you arrive. Your feet will walk into rooms that suit the weight of your promise. Your voice will carry across tables that once ignored your presence. The atmosphere will shift because you walked in. There is a table being set with portions defined by the hunger of your assignment. Nothing that belongs to you will be handed to another seat. Your chair has been reserved the entire time. An old fear is packing its bags without your permission. Fear cannot survive where certainty has decided to live. The eviction is already signed. The past tried to lean on you like a tired guest who refused to leave. You learned to be kind and firm at the same time. The guest is being walked to the door with a gentle hand that does not waver. You will notice small signs that feel like déjà vu. The signs are confirmations layered on top of older confirmations. They will lead you without confusion. A message is traveling quickly from a place you never expected to hear from. The message brings news that lifts your chin. Your posture will reflect the truth that you are chosen for more. Someone underestimated what you could carry. They mistook your soft heart for a fragile spine. They will watch you lift doors as if they were feathers. The shift will start in the room you are in right now. It will not require a dramatic stage or a perfect mood. It will require agreement in your heart and a step forward. There is a city that will know your name without you shouting it. The right introductions will arrive like rain on dry ground. Your reputation will be watered by results, not arguments. A scar you hid will glow like a testimony under warm light. The scar will not embarrass you because it proves your survival. It will open conversations you were born to have. You will be guided into an intersection where two paths meet. One path was built by old fear and the other by new faith. Your feet will choose the second because it finally feels natural. Promises that seemed slow are arriving with sudden speed. Delays are breaking like glass under a steady heel. The shards cannot cut you because you are wearing shoes tailored for you. There is a melody under the noise of worry. The melody is yours and it remembers your first laughter. You will hear it again and feel whole. Those who misread your silence will watch your harvest and learn. Their hearts will soften in the presence of clear evidence. The lesson will be gentle and undeniable. You are not late to the promise because you were on assignment in the hallway. Hallways can be long and unkind, but they lead to doors. Now the handle turns under your hand. A courier has been sent to deliver a set of coordinates to your spirit. The map will appear in dreams and waking moments with the same accuracy. Follow the coordinates because they lead to restoration. Your hands will not leave empty again. They will find the tool, the key, the letter, and the blessing, each in the right order. Misalignment will not return. The voice that once accused you is losing strength. It cannot stand in the same room with the truth that now surrounds you. The walls echo with confirmation instead of fear. A threshold waits where your name is engraved into the wood. Passing through it will feel like stepping into air that finally fits your lungs. You will wonder how you ever breathed anything else. You will see justice come quietly like snow that covers a ruined field. The field will look new in the morning and you will know restoration is real. The ground will receive your steps with joy. There is a harvest laid out in rows that match your perseverance. You sowed tears in secret and you will gather joy in public. The field is ready because the season has turned. You will find letters you wrote to the future inside your own courage. Those letters will read like guidance you forgot you had. You will follow them with grateful feet. A friend you almost lost will return with a healed heart. Their words will be careful and true. The bond will be stronger because honesty has replaced assumption. You will meet new faces that feel strangely familiar. Destiny speaks through recognition that does not need a biography. Your heart will relax because it knows who stands before it. The wind will carry away a name that never belonged to you. It will leave you with the name you were given before fear learned to speak. That name fits like a garment made by wise hands. You will stop apologizing for the light you carry. It was not meant to be hidden behind polite curtains. It was meant to fill rooms and guide lost travelers. A door that once creaked with difficulty will swing with ease. The oil was applied in the night when you slept weary and hopeful. Morning reveals that the way is smooth now. You will receive a message that sounds like a bell in clear air. The bell rings once for release, twice for restoration, and a third time for acceleration. Your feet match the rhythm without effort. There will be a signing that finalizes what was already true in heaven for your life. Paperwork will not intimidate you because authority has shifted in your favor. You will sign with hands that do not shake. You will not chase what is yours because what is yours is already approaching. Alignment feels like relief when it finally arrives. Relief will wash your face like cool water. The road will straighten after a long season of curves. You will remember that peace can be simple and strong. Your pace will become steady like a drumbeat that does not falter. The night that carried whispers of loss will close its mouth. Morning will arrive with practical instructions and warm assurance. You will move with both comfort and clarity. You will discover that the forgotten room in your heart holds a bright lamp. The lamp has been waiting to be lifted. Its light will show you treasures you thought were gone. The storms that tried to throw you off course have exhausted themselves. They fall behind you like old tales that no longer apply. The sky ahead is wide and open. There is a promise that keeps its calendar even when you forget the date. That promise has arrived on time because time bends to the one who keeps it. You will not be late for your own destiny. You will walk through a gate that clicks shut behind you. The click is not a prison but a protection that keeps thieves out. Your harvest will grow in safety. Your feet will know where to go even when your eyes are still adjusting. Muscle memory of faith takes over and carries you forward. You are stronger than you remember. Old disappointments will crumble when touched by the current of new joy. They do not resist because they were only held together by your past attention. Your attention belongs to the future now. You will forget how to hide because the season no longer requires it. Hiddenness served its purpose and now exposure serves your mission. Your face will meet sunlight without flinching. There is a reunion ahead between your calling and your confidence. They clasp hands like old friends at a station. They board the train together without hesitation. Your household will feel the lift as hope moves through rooms like fresh air. Conversations will soften and then strengthen. Laughter will sound like repair. You will find the courage to limit what once drained you. Some limits are love in practical clothing. You will wear them with relief. A mentor will arrive with a sentence that unlocks a locked thought. That sentence will echo in your mind until it settles into understanding. You will move with new certainty. Your work will carry a signature that cannot be forged. It is the proof that you stood when standing felt costly. The signature tells a story without using many words. A place you once avoided will become your launching ground. You will return with a steady step and a clear plan. The ground will welcome you because it recognizes your authority. People who prayed for you without telling you will reveal themselves softly. Gratitude will rise in your chest because you were never alone. The truth will be sweeter than you imagined. You will feel a tug on your sleeve that pulls you away from the unnecessary. The tug is gentle and wise. It teaches you to move with focus. The next door does not respond to panic. It responds to quiet resolve. You carry that resolve now. What tried to break you became the stone you step on to reach the next level. It lifts you without complaint. It becomes part of the testimony that travels with you. The path ahead includes rest that is not passive. Rest will rebuild you while you move. The combination makes you unstoppable in a calm way. Your story will not be defined by the betrayal that hurt you. It will be defined by the strength that rose afterward. That strength changes rooms when you enter. You will recognize the right partnership by the absence of confusion. Purpose sharpens when the right voices speak in the same direction. You will know it and you will not need to force it. Abundance will come in measured waves that do not drown your clarity. You will handle it with clean hands and a patient heart. The waves will keep arriving because you were designed to steward them. Your nights will stop arguing with your mornings. They will agree to prepare you instead of drain you. You will wake with a steady flame inside. A final barrier will dissolve like frost under noon sun. The way forward will not be complicated. You will move with a smile that feels new on your face. This is the moment where heaven demands your attention with a loving urgency. You will not lose the hand that has guided you because you choose to hold on. The grip becomes mutual and unbreakable. Take the step in front of you with the calm of someone already carried. Take the truth into your chest and let it settle like warm light. Take the path that has been cleared for your feet. The story you feared is no longer possible because the script has changed. The eraser that threatened your name has been broken and thrown away. Your name is engraved and bright. Walk now and do not look back except to gather wisdom. The future is aligned and waiting. Your arrival completes the design that has been prepared for you. You are seen with exactness and loved with precision. You are guided without hesitation. You are protected in ways that will become clear and undeniable. Hold your head up because the seal is on your life. The seal announces that what was promised has jurisdiction. Nothing smaller can overrule it. You step forward as the clock sings a new count. Not a countdown to loss but a count up into purpose. Each number rises like a stair beneath your feet. The final alert has become a final assurance. You will not be erased because grace has written you in bold ink. The page turns and you are ready. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. The room around you learns your rhythm and begins to agree. The clock on the wall no longer argues but escorts each second like a faithful guard. The air feels brighter because agreement has entered it. You step and the floor remembers you are authorized. The path ahead arranges itself like pages put in perfect order. Nothing vital hides from you now. A letter stamped with approval travels through hands that once stalled. It moves without delay and lands where it should. Your name shines on the angle of the envelope like morning on a window. A call approaches with a tone you will recognize as release. The voice on the other end will sound steady like a bridge that has been tested. Your shoulders will finally drop because the strain has ended. The night that used to feel crowded becomes a hallway where peace walks beside you. The corners hold no ambush because light has expanded there. You move like someone escorted by certainty. You will witness a reversal that respects your endurance. The same rooms that once dismissed you will invite you with care. The difference will be quiet and exact. Documents that felt like walls turn to doors under new authority. The ink that tried to trap you dissolves like salt in rain. You are not held by the old terms anymore. A set of coordinates lines up inside you and points home. Home is not a place that shames you for surviving. Home is the table that has been patiently keeping your chair warm. You will watch a pattern you feared fail to repeat. It breaks at the very place it used to tighten. Relief arrives like a soft thunder that blesses everything it touches. Someone who misread your purpose lowers their voice and learns. Their new respect does not require your performance. It is born from results that cannot be argued. You locate the tools you misplaced when the pressure was heavy. They were near your feet the entire time. With them in hand you move like a craftsman touching familiar wood. A closed ledger opens and reveals a line item in your favor. The numbers behave like trained birds returning to the right branch. Accounting becomes testimony and not accusation. Your inner weather turns clear. Familiar storms approach but stop at a border they cannot cross. You feel the strength of that boundary and breathe deeper. You plant a final seed that needed only a drop of courage. The ground accepts it and responds quickly. Germination sounds like a small yes that keeps repeating. A courtyard in your memory is repainted with gladness. The echo you used to hear there is replaced by footsteps of friends. Belonging returns like a language you never truly forgot. The next instruction arrives in a sentence so simple you almost miss it. You follow it and the path unfolds like a ribbon. Ease is not laziness, it is alignment in motion. You pause without fear because the pause is part of power. Stillness gathers your focus into a sharp beam. What you touch in this state answers you with accuracy. The burden to prove yourself evaporates. Evidence has taken the microphone and speaks calmly. The room listens and nods. A promise comes dressed like a calendar appointment that cannot be cancelled. You show up and meet what was already prepared. The fit is exact and comfortable. You remember the names of those who showed up for you in quiet ways. Gratitude travels to them like a warm messenger. The circle tightens in a healthy way. Your eyes open to hidden exits in places that felt cramped. Space bends to accommodate your calling. You stop trying to fit where you were never meant to fold. An old gatekeeper waves you through with a changed attitude. The lesson is not to gloat but to glide. You pass with dignity and keep moving. The door you feared would slam stays open on gentle hinges. The hinges were oiled by nights you stood your ground. Maintenance was happening in the dark. You hold a pen that writes without scratching. The sentence you sign commits you to a future that already loves you. The ink dries fast because delay is not invited. A forgotten email resurfaces at the exact right moment. It contains the spark that lights the next plan. Timing protects you like armor. You notice how your voice warms rooms that used to feel cold. People relax and plans mature. Influence wears humility like a well-chosen coat. Your calendar fills with assignments that fit your capacity. Overwhelm loses its contract and walks away. Rhythm replaces frenzy with a stable pulse. You meet a guide who speaks one clean phrase. The phrase untangles months of confusion in 3 heartbeats. Clarity tastes like cool water and bread. The neighborhood of your thoughts becomes safe for children and elders. No sharp corners remain to cut your. You look back and understand the genius of delays. They kept you from rooms that were not ready to hold you. Now the right architecture supports your weight. An invitation arrives from a place that once felt unreachable. You accept with a steady heart and a practical plan. Distance shrinks in the face of purpose. A reprieve finds the bill that worried you. Its tone softens and its numbers settle. Provision proves it was circling you all along. You will reclaim a skill you thought time had stolen. Muscle memory smiles and returns to your hands. Excellence wakes up like a well-rested friend. The faces of those you love brighten under the new atmosphere. Laughter returns to the hallway and lingers. Even the walls sound softer when you walk past. The future no longer whispers in riddles. It speaks in simple steps and steady cues. You hear and move and do not hesitate. You design a morning that serves your mission. The morning agrees and protects your hours like a compass. You see how structure can be kindness. Your reflection looks back without apology. You recognize the survivor and the builder in the same gaze. They shake hands and become one person. A file tagged pending switches to completed with a decisive click. The relief is clean and not dramatic. You celebrate with gratitude and then continue. The tide turns in a way that even your critics acknowledge. They speak softer and watch closer. You keep your focus and let the work answer. You hear a clear no that saves you from a pretty trap. The no is not rejection but direction. It frees you to say yes where it matters. You place your feet on land that feels like it remembers you. The ground steadies your ankles and lifts your knees. Movement becomes graceful and strong. A window opens where you expected a wall. Fresh air fills a room that had no breeze. Your thoughts stretch and feel taller. Your patience graduates into strategy. Waiting becomes building and planning. Time respects you and collaborates. An overdue apology finds you on a day you stop needing it. You receive it with peace and keep it as closure, not currency. Your worth is not dependent on anyone catching up. A symbolic key appears in a conversation that seems ordinary. You hear it and pocket it with quiet joy. Later it unlocks an opportunity without effort. Your hands stop shaking when you approach the task that used to intimidate you. The fear belonged to an old version of you. The new you holds steady and completes the work. You listen to your limits and honor them without shame. Your energy becomes precise instead of scattered. Productivity turns into fruit, not smoke. A small favor you offered months ago returns as a large door. The circle of kindness proves it keeps moving. Generosity continues to find you because you have become its home. The lights stay green long enough for you to cross the whole intersection. Coordination replaces coincidence. You appreciate the choreography and keep pace. You discern the difference between a distraction and an assignment. That discernment saves weeks and preserves joy. Your calendar thanks you in the language of open space. An unhelpful memory loses its color and drifts toward the edges. It no longer stands in the center of your room. Perspective reclaims the stage. You gather your boundaries like a cloak and wear them with ease. They do not divide you from love, they invite healthy love near. Peace respects the lines and stays. The next chapter does not apologize for being beautiful. It simply is, and you allow it. Beauty behaves like competence when it is rooted. You stop narrating failure and begin narrating formation. Words build like scaffolding around your progress. The view from this height is kind. A healthy pride rises, the kind that salutes your survival and growth. It does not shout, but it does stand tall. You walk with it like a companion who knows the way. You taste stability and realize it has flavor. It tastes like mornings that keep their promises and nights that heal. You learn to cook with these ingredients. A new mentor appears in the mirror when you remember how far you came. You speak to yourself with seasoned respect. Self-doubt leaves because it is no longer welcome. You let go of timelines that were never yours. In their place you hold a mission that fits your hands. Time smiles and cooperates. A notice arrives that once would have frightened you. You read it calmly and address it with wisdom. The issue dissolves because you refuse to panic. Your home begins to reflect your inside victories. Drawers close easily and lights work on the first try. Order becomes a quiet song that plays all day. You receive a message about a project that seemed dormant. It stirs like an animal waking in spring. Activity returns with a disciplined rhythm. Those who chose confusion as a weapon lay it down. The game ends because you stopped playing. You move forward and the noise fades behind you. Your finances learn the dance of clarity and generosity. Numbers align with purpose and know their assignments. Waste becomes a stranger and stewardship becomes a friend. A door in the city opens to a community you will cherish. You enter and feel recognized. Collaboration grows like ivy on warm brick. You step into an office where the atmosphere bends toward favor. The conversation lifts like a kite in steady wind. Agreements form without strain. Your travel becomes purposeful and safe. Each route feels designed with care. You arrive rested and ready. You learn the art of refusing what is not yours. The refusal is gentle and final. It protects your yes for the right things. A manuscript in your spirit finishes a chapter with satisfying certainty. You close that page and feel taller. The next page greets you like an old friend. The people assigned to your journey find you without forcing. Mutual honor sets the tone. Work gets done and hearts stay whole. You break camp in a season that no longer feeds you. The move is steady and thankful. The new ground receives your tent posts and smiles. An announcement carries your name properly pronounced. Hearing it loosens something tight in your chest. You realize how much accuracy heals. You notice you are no longer chasing closure. Closure arrived on its own schedule and found you working. You nod and keep building. A rhythm of study returns and fuels your authority. You gather insights like clean water in strong jars. You pour when needed and keep the rest safe. You forgive what you finally understand. Understanding brings softness without erasing truth. You step lighter because the weight is gone. Your evenings hold recovery that actually restores. Sleep becomes a trustworthy companion. Morning meets you like a partner, not a rival. You choose excellence without the burden of perfection. Excellence breathes while perfection chokes. You select what breathes and move freely. You realize you are not auditioning anymore. You already belong where you are assigned. The stage stops being a test and becomes a platform. Your courage graduates to quiet mastery. It no longer needs noise to announce itself. Results speak softly and carry weight. The hand that carried you has not released you. It holds with a grip that matches your agreement. Together you walk into rooms that used to scare you. What once felt final reveals itself as a threshold. Final became first in a single turn. You step through and the air tastes new. Your name stands, not written in pencil but carved in certainty. Erasure loses its teeth and falls silent. Continuation becomes the anthem of your days. Your timeline loosens around the edges and makes room for expansion. The hours stretch to accommodate restoration that had been pending. What used to rush past you now walks beside you with respect. You feel the hush that comes before a sunrise. It is the sound of possibilities organizing themselves into form. The light prepares a landing and invites your future to step down. Your posture updates to match the authority you have earned. Shoulders settle, spine lengthens, breathing evens. Presence becomes your announcement. You carry instructions like a sealed envelope in your chest. Nothing can tamper with it because it is addressed by higher order. At the right moment it opens and delivers direction with precision. Your quiet preparation starts to glitter in public spaces. Not a spectacle, but a steady glow that cannot be ignored. Substance replaces performance and everyone can tell. The page you turn does not creak. It moves like silk over the hands of someone trusted. The story aligns with the character you have become. You identify old triggers and walk past them like harmless scenery. They wave for your attention and you smile and keep moving. Mastery looks effortless from the outside. A door that required 2 keys now opens to your voice. Access shifts from effort to recognition. Systems that once resisted become partners. You will sense timing as a living companion. It taps your wrist when to start, and tilts your chin when to pause. You obey and the sequence flows. You accept the truth that your capacity increased while you were not looking. Challenges that once shook you now sit quietly in your hands. You shape them into progress with calm strength. The bridge that looked narrow widens under your steps. Structure expands to fit your assignment. You are not squeezed by the path anymore. You recognize loyalty not by loud words but by consistent presence. Those who stayed are given front row seats. Those who left are blessed from a distance. Your name travels ahead of you like a lantern. Rooms are ready before you arrive. The welcome is simple and sincere. You make one phone call that bends an entire week into favor. Alignment answers on the first ring. Solutions agree to show up early. You will touch paperwork and feel heat in your fingertips. The heat is movement breaking through bureaucracy. Approvals collect like rain in a basin built by patience. A mentor's quiet nod becomes a signature in the unseen. That nod attracts doors calibrated to your new level. Entry becomes a matter of identity, not argument. You stop rehearsing catastrophes. You rehearse excellence and follow through. Your imagination becomes a factory for completion. The economy of your life learns integrity. What you earn, you keep. What you sow, you reap with interest returned in peace. You return to places that once drained you and find them powerless. Your boundaries hum like well-tuned wires. The current carries you forward without sparks. A thought that once felt too large finally fits your mind. The fit brings relief and momentum. You begin and finishing feels inevitable. You ask nothing from people that they cannot give. The clarity rescues relationships from fantasy. Real connection emerges and grows strong. You will feel old grief loosen like a knot under warm water. The cord untangles and lays flat. Breath returns to spaces that were tight for years. The signals that guide you sharpen into unmistakable nudges. You respond quickly and kindly to yourself. Efficiency becomes mercy in motion. Your reputation becomes the sum of quiet mornings and honest evenings. It holds steady through weather. Others lean on it without fear. You will master the art of leaving before a room turns sour. Departure becomes wisdom, not drama. Your peace remains intact. A structure appears for a dream you used to carry loosely. It comes with dates, budgets, and names. The skeleton invites flesh and movement. You speak a sentence that opens a collaborator's gift. Their face changes in real time. Contribution multiplies because you unlocked the right valve. Your courage begins to conserve your energy. It fights only necessary battles. The rest bow to composure and results. The apology you owe yourself arrives in action. You treat your body as headquarters, not a battlefield. Headquarters upgrade their protocols and security. You encounter an opportunity that looks ordinary from a distance. Up close it holds seeds for an orchard. You plant with understanding and patience. You distinguish between momentum and hurry. Momentum carries rhythm. Hurry burns through fuel with nothing to show. Your calendar becomes a sculpture of priorities. Each block of time holds shape and meaning. Waste cannot find purchase. You refine your voice until it feels like home. From that home you speak and people hear themselves rise. Influence becomes service dressed in clarity. You design rest like a craftsman designs a chair. It holds your weight and improves your posture. You get up stronger than when you sat down. You bring closure to a loop that circled for too long. The line straightens and points forward. Progress answers with ease. Your confidence stops borrowing from approval. It stands on outcomes and aligned effort. Silence becomes a friend, not a verdict. You inherit wisdom that cannot be faked. It shows up in tiny decisions that stack into big wins. The stack becomes a staircase. You address an old fear with data and kindness. Evidence dissolves the ghost. Reality bows to truth. Your environment begins to echo your inner order. Drawers, desktops, and doors all agree. Friction lowers and performance rises. You remember skills you learned under pressure. They now operate under pleasure. Excellence enjoys being used. You re-enter a creative field you once left. This time you bring structure and stamina. Talent breathes in a room built for it. A threshold announces itself with peace, not noise. You step over without theatrics. The shift is obvious and permanent. You decide to be seen without spectacle. Presence replaces performance. The right eyes recognize quality and respond with partnership. You untether your worth from productivity. Worth remains on rainy days and off hours. Productivity becomes a gift, not a leash. You honor your word to yourself with quiet ceremony. Tracking replaces wishing. The scoreboard shows kindness and consistency. You walk through a corridor guarded by discernment. It lets in the precise voices and blocks the rest. Your mind rests while it works. You treat endings as professional handshakes, not indictments. Gratitude stamps the envelope. The next beginning arrives unburdened. You adopt a pace that tells time how to behave. Time obeys. Deadlines convert into lifelines. You notice joy returning to ordinary tasks. Soap and sunlight conspire to bless your sink. Domestic order becomes a hymn. You frame your story in terms of growth, not survival alone. Growth asks for tools and gives back roots. Stability answers the exchange. You say yes to a collaboration that mirrors your values. The work feels like breathing on a good day. The outcome exceeds projections with quiet certainty. You recognize flattery as counterfeit currency. You prefer receipts stamped with integrity. Your circle adopts the same economy. You become bilingual in vision and operations. Dream and detail hold hands without friction. Delivery happens on schedule. You embrace the power of iteration. First drafts stop embarrassing you. They become bridges to the excellent final. You treat mistakes like teachers with office hours. You meet them, take notes, and leave wiser. Shame sits outside the class without a seat. You recalibrate your relationship with waiting. Waiting becomes loading, not lag. You watch the bar fill with calm expectation. You set an anchor in a daily ritual that centers you. It is small and stubbornly effective. Wind swirls and you remain grounded. You give your future a clean runway. Loose ends are tied, tools are sharpened, fuel is topped. Takeoff feels deserved. You accept that favor is not random, it is assigned. It knows your name and route. It meets you at intersections with on-time guidance. You appoint Joy as a project manager for one area of life. Joy organizes meetings with wonder and gratitude. Milestones arrive with confetti that does not litter. You balance ambition with contentment. They stop competing and start collaborating. Output improves because peace is a multiplier. You design exits as carefully as entries. Leaving well preserves reputation and energy. The road behind you stays blessed. You decline invitations that lead to confusion. Polite honesty becomes a force field. The right doors knock louder. You document your wins without theatrics. Records replace rumors. Confidence draws from evidence. You steward influence like a lighthouse. Beam steady, rotation measured, purpose clear. Ships adjust and reach shore. You repair a boundary that once leaked. The fix is elegant and quiet. Respect finds the line and honors it. You learn the science of saying almost enough. Restraint sharpens impact. Words land with weight and leave room for dignity. You treat your name like a contract. Where it appears, standards appear. Extensions are granted to quality, not chaos. You orchestrate collaboration like a calm conductor. Each instrument is heard and none dominate the score. The piece completes with applause that feels deserved. You plan for maintenance, not just launch. Systems hum beyond the first victory. Sustainability becomes your signature. You create margin for surprise. The space invites serendipity to contribute. Solutions arrive dressed as gifts. You notice your gratitude becoming architectural. It builds places people love to enter. Conversations lengthen in those rooms. You retire from narratives that paint you small. Perspective upgrades the frame. The portrait matches the person. You keep your promises to the child you were. They smile from somewhere deep and old. That smile fuels another mile. You verify that fear has no current address in your schedule. It moved out when structure moved in. Locks changed and windows brighten. You stop chasing closure letters from the past. Consent to peace becomes the stamp. The file archives itself with honor. You become fluent in endings that bless and beginnings that breathe. Cycle after cycle, your tone stays steady. The arc curves upward with grace and grit. You acknowledge the weight you carry and the wings you grew. The combination makes you unstoppable and kind. Rooms learn both and respond in kind. You separate urgency from importance. Urgency shrinks to proper size. Importance receives prime seating on your calendar. You trust the timing of your emergence. It carries the logic of seasons and the mathematics of harvest. The field answers you by name. You reassign your focus from proving to producing. The difference shows up in outcomes. Noise falls, results rise. You elevate your standards gently and permanently. Preferences become policies. Policies do the guarding while you do the building. You treat your peace as non-negotiable infrastructure. Nothing proceeds without it. Momentum becomes smooth as glass. You allow celebration without suspicion. Joy is not a trap, it is a trail marker. You follow it to the next good place. You realize that what tried to erase you only sharpened the engraving. The lines of your identity stand clean and bright. Continuation becomes your natural state. You step into tomorrow with the calm of someone escorted. The hand that holds you is firm, present, and faithful. Your path widens to match your calling, and you move like the answer arrived.